evening. It's 6 o'clock on Friday, May 19th, 2017. Welcome, and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Our News, where we bring you today's top stories, translated into English, every weeknight. The agreement reached between the Prime Minister and the DP Chairman for the solution of the political crisis has put the small parliamentary parties in a difficult position. The DP Chairman held a meeting today with his allies, with whom he is discussing the possibilities as to how their participation in elections can be maximized. At the meeting held behind closed doors, the DP Chairman discussed the opportunity that none of the allies register for elections, but support the Democratic Party. Meanwhile, those who have a parliamentary mandate should be included in the candidates list. A decision has not yet been made, but the chairman of the Agrarian Party declared after the meeting that the political party should be tested in the electoral race. The chairman of the Agrarian Party seems to be against the proposal not to be registered for elections and is asking for the change of electoral code with the aim to have the possibility to focus in a race only in the areas where the party has the biggest support. Meanwhile, the chairman of Demo-Christian Party considers the proposal discussed at the meeting as a forced solution in order to be safe from disappearing. According to him, the agreement reached is not in favor of the small parties. The chairman of the Agrarian Party and of the Demo-Christian Party did not confirm whether they will accept to be in the list of the Democratic Party. Meanwhile, the Democratic Party is expected to publicize the names of the provisional ministers on Monday, a day before the special plenary session. Also, the DP chairman should select the Democratic Party's candidates within a week, as according to the agreement reached, the Democratic Party should select the candidates by May 26th. For this reason, the DP chairman held a meeting today with the chairman of the Democratic Party branches and has asked them to immediately start with the preparations for the electoral campaign and bring their proposals for the Democratic Party's candidates. The Assembly Speaker and President-elect Ilir Meta has commented today on the agreement reached between the parties, declaring that the agreement was necessary because of the country's need for tranquility and legitimate elections. Mr. Meta said that the agreement is not similar with that of the agreement reached in 2008 because there are different realities, even though the aims may be similar, stating, "I want to express my contentment as today we are calmer than 2 days ago when the elections and democracy were on the verge of the abyss. I want to thank all of the constructive factors, especially the USA and European Union, for giving their contribution to have comprehensive elections so that the Albanian people could have elections according to the standards. There is no similarity between the agreement of 2008 because we are living in two different realities. There can be similarities in the aims, but not in the realities. Albania will be safer and more democratic after June 25th. Mr. Meta, who highlighted that the Socialist Movement for Integration has always been a promoter for an agreement between the parties in order to guarantee tranquility for the country and an equal race between the parties, adding, "I want to assure you that the Socialist Movement for Integration has acted with responsibility and has been the first party that has insisted on dialogue and has been willing to create the government of trust. We have it now. The Socialist Movement for Integration has always been ready to offer its posts for the solution. The SMI's force is focused on the youth, not the ministers." Avoiding an answer for a possible coalition between the Socialist Party and the Socialist Movement for Integration, Mr. Meta expressed his conviction that the Socialist Movement for Integration will emerge the first political force in the June 25th elections. The chairman of the Socialist Movement for Integration, Petri Vasili, gave a press conference today praising the agreement reached between the political parties to ensure comprehensiveness in elections. The SMI chairman said that the impossibility to create coalitions is a problem, but added that the most important thing is that the country is now calmer. The SMI chairman reiterated that the reached agreement is what the Socialist Movement for Integration has wanted the whole time, declaring, "Despite the prolonged crisis, the important thing is that we have comprehensive elections. The risk of chaos and insecurity was avoided. We will have an equal race between the parties, and the Socialist Movement for Integration believes that it will be the first political force in elections. The goal of the SMI is to emerge the first political force in the June 25th elections. The agreement enables parties to run on equal terms. Today, the political situation is clear. The election date has been set. We have performed to the benefit of stability and security. The SMI has been coherent in its approach to offering to do its best, even to offer its public posts, to avoid the crisis." Regarding the claims that the agreement was reached to hit the small parties, and especially the Socialist Movement for Integration, the SMI chairman says that the people will show the result by their vote, and expressed his conviction that the result will be surprising. The SMI chairman said that the SMI is not thinking of the coalitions right now, as it is focused on the election results, leaving the issue of the coalition for after the elections. The Austrian ambassador to our country, Johann Sattler, commented today on the agreement reached between the Prime Minister and the DP chairman to solve the political impasse. The Austrian ambassador said that the agreement offers stability and will move the judicial reform forward. The Austrian diplomat considered the participation of all political parties in elections and paving the way to implementation of the judicial reform as very important. The Austrian ambassador has this to say from Fear, where he held a meeting with the mayor of Fear. Elections are the essence of democracy. The agreement reached between the parties is an important contribution. Albanian people deserve to have a wide range of opportunities to select between the political forces. Albania needs stability, and the agreement reached is a very good solution for stability. Albania needs the judicial reform, and I am ready that the agreement contains some points to take the judicial reform forward. The mufti of Shkodra, Imam Muhammad, has criticized the agreement between the main political leaders, Prime Minister Edi Rama and the DP chairman Basha. The mufti expressed holding elections on June 25th, which coincides with the Eid Al-Fitr, a celebration day for the Muslim believers. According to Shkodra's mufti, such actions has not happened even during communism, when the faith was prohibited. Shkodra's mufti also commented on some phenomenon the Muslim believers have encountered in the past years, when parties with alcohol have been held next to the city's mosque. The mufti spoke of the importance that Ramadan month has for the Muslim believers and that fasting is considered as a sacrifice. Parliament is expected to gather in a special session on Monday, May 22nd, in order to approve the changes in government and to complete the establishment of the vetting commissions. Based on the agreement reached between the Prime Minister and the DP chairman, the oppositions will propose 6 names for 6 provisional ministers, respectively. The Minister of Justice, the Minister of Health, Minister of Education, Minister of Finance, Minister of Social Welfare and Youth, and the Minister of Interior. The opposition members will return to Parliament after an absence of 3 months, when they started their boycott of Parliament. Some sources say that Parliament will be summoned in a special session to approve these changes, and at the same time, the President of the Republic, Bujar Nishani, is expected to decree June 25th as the election date. After being approved in Parliament, the names of the new ministers will be announced by the President. The High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Federica Mogherini, and Commissioner for Enlargement and Neighborhood, Johannes Hahn, issued a joint statement today praising the agreement reached between the Prime Minister and the Democratic Party chairman. The EU officials declare that the political class showed democratic maturity. The statement of the EU officials reads, "We congratulate the political parties in Albania for the agreement reached, which will lead to the holding of elections on the 25th of June 2017, with the participation of all parties. The political leaders have responded to their citizens' expectations and shown democratic maturity. This was a crucial first step. Now, this agreement must be swiftly implemented to prepare elections in line with international standards. As the vote of Parliament for the establishment of the vetting bodies is part of the agreement, we reiterate the importance of a solid and credible implementation of the vetting process, which is key for progress toward EU membership. We will continue supporting Albania and the legitimate aspirations of its people for a better future." That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Cosmo K, and on behalf of Our News, thank you and good night.